In this video, we will explore Centrify's logging capabilities and session capture and replay capabilities. And we've discussed before that Centrify provides role-based access controls that are available for Linux, Unix, and Windows, providing with the capability of giving people exactly the access that they need based on their business need to know. So this roles and rights have several capabilities. You can, in the Unix side, you can limit how people get access to systems by leveraging PAM rights, what commands they can do, and this also works on Windows as well. So you can basically provide applications access that limit the ability for a user to have local administrative access. But let's talk about logging for a second. I'm going to quickly go ahead and launch a PuTTY session here. And in Unix, the way privilege elevation works is by leveraging Centrify enhanced sudo. So if the first thing I can do is take a look at what my user can do, and this is by leveraging the dzinfo command. By looking at dzinfo, I can tell, what role the person has, what PAM access this person has, and what type of commands they can run. So in here, we're talking about a sysadmin. So this person can run effectively any command as root, but they don't need to know the root password. So she could do something like dzdo, and notice that dzdo is based on sudo, but she can do something like dzdo vi etc password, which will allow the person to edit the password file on local system. Typically, that's only doable by root. And notice that the user has been challenged to put in their Active Directory password. I should be able to, for example, in this case, add a line and just maybe add a character here. And what is that we're looking for? We're looking at Centrify, because Centrify uses the native logging capabilities or infrastructure. So if I look at in this particular case, rel derivative to the var log secure facility, notice that it says right here, hey, it was the user Diana who went in and edited the etc password file. This illustrates a very interesting limitation, and that's a log tells me what happens, but it doesn't put it in context, right? Another interesting tidbit is that dzdo can be customized. So you can actually add additional information, require additional information aside from the password. So the user can probably type in maybe change control number. What that has as an effect is that when you get the entry, you also get the reference information to determine if this was a valid change or not. Another limitation of logs is this. A lot of sysadmins like to do basically something like this, dzdo su dash. At this point, they have become root. But if root were to do something like this, via etc password, for example, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add another line, and I'm going to save the file. If I take a look at, if I go ahead and exit, and take a look at the secure log, I will be able to take a look and see, hey, you know what? It was Diana who became root, but notice that anything that I did with root, like for example, editing the etc password file, is not logged. Of course, this can be configured to be there, but that's another limitation of when you give the keys to the kingdom, you don't have real context of that. Now let's move to what we can do to overcome this. In the Unix side, there's several things that we could do. If the end user has Enterprise Edition, they can just take a look at Audit Analyzer, and they can take a look at events that happened, for example, today. And one of the things that is going to show up here is a session with Diana. And the session in here is going to show me all the information that happened in this session. Notice that it says it was to this machine, and it started at a certain time, and it hasn't ended because I have it open here. If I take a look at the commands, I can take a sequential look at what the person typed in. Notice that there's the same limitation as a log, but this is where Centrify can enhance you, because with DirectAudit, you can take a look, just like this was exactly what the user was doing. So notice that I went at this point in time. I can look at things in real time, or I can just play it normally or fast forward. At this point, I can take a look at exactly what the user was doing. I can fast forward, and you'll see, hey, this is when I typed in the additional line. But not only that, when I elevated and I became root, I can also take a look at what I did as root. So not only you can limit access, control how privilege elevation happens, but in examples in which people may be cloaked by the way the OS works, you have DirectAudit that will tell you, just like a movie, exactly what the user did. And this is some of the things and how Centrify can enhance what you may have today in terms of logging and detective controls around this issue. I hope this video was helpful.